Assalamu alaikum. We have already done how resources are allocated in different market systems, but we need to see how the economy transitions from one kind of market system into the other, number one, and how markets can fail. What is market failure? Market failure is when resources are allocated inefficiently. Write this definition. When resources are allocated inefficiently, it causes either positive or negative externalities, and that is called market failure. But how is positive externality a market failure? Because it is benefiting the society at large. It might be benefiting the society at large, but then this is underconsumed. That the good or service that produces positive externality is underconsumed. That points out points towards inefficient allocation of resources. So how markets fail? Only goods and services that are profitable to the market will be provided if there is market economic system means free market economy. For example, market economy will not provide education or healthcare for people who cannot afford to pay for these services. How can the government intervene in provision of these services, and why does the government intervene? Whenever there are market inefficiencies which cannot be corrected by the private sector, then the government needs to intervene so that the economy does not go into recession. Why will the economy go into recession? The output will either reduce, the output will reduce, or it will increase immensely, that it would need to be brought down, right? So the government and the economy might move towards failure when the market moves towards failure, so the government needs to intervene. How can the government intervene? By producing merit goods regardless of people's ability to pay for it. These merit goods normally will be public goods. Second way in which markets can fail is firms would be unable to charge consumers, means provision of public goods. When provision of public goods cannot be done by the private sector, inefficiencies arise and market can move towards failure. The government can provide public goods and public goods that would otherwise be unprofitable for private sector or firms to provide. In a market economic system, resources will be employed only if they are profitable, and some people who are willing and able to work may be left unemployed and without an income if the market itself is left to allocate resources on its own. The government can intervene by employing people who may otherwise be unemployed and provide welfare benefits and payments to people out of work on low incomes. This happens in international economies. The market will fail if harmful goods such as dangerous drugs and weapons may be produced and freely available to consumers who want to buy them. Government can intervene by making laws that make production of harmful goods illegal, and high taxes can be imposed on others such as cigarettes to reduce their consumption, right? Next, market can move towards failure when social cost is not taken into account, and the government can intervene by through laws and regulations that can protect the natural environment. Finally, market can move towards failures when some firms may dominate the supply of a particular good or service and monopolies may arise. Government can intervene by regulating monopolies to keep their prices down or be broken up into smaller firms to increase competition and choice. These are instances, or these are ways in which market can fail and government can intervene. Now, what are the problems of government intervention itself? Is government intervention good or it's bad? Government intervention may be good, it may be bad. It depends on the situation, type of goods and service in question. Number one, high taxes on profits may reduce enterprise, and high taxes on wages can reduce people's incentive to work. High taxes are hated by corporations as well as employees because nobody wants to pay out a high chunk of their income to the government so that they may spend it on other people and support people who are either earning low wages or have no work at all. It sounds like a penalty to people who are paying taxes. Number two, regulations can impose significant costs on firms, and firms do not like to increase their costs. If the cost increases, they either reduce the quantity of goods produced or they reduce the quality of goods produced. In both cases, the consumer suffers because if the quantity reduces, prices become high. If quality reduces, their money goes to waste. Then public sector provision may be inefficient and produce poor quality goods and services because public sector organizations are not motivated to make profits. Their core motive is welfare maximization. And the fourth one, government spending may be politically motivated, that one of the politicians maybe if they want to invest in certain sector or spend on certain sector, they may do that without any logic. Transition from planned towards market economy. Planned economy is when every resource is controlled by the government. Market economy is another extreme where every resource is controlled by the private sector. So what are the features of transition? Greater role of price mechanism, and the forces of demand and supply will then start dictating the prices. Any interference of government in the form of price controls, taxes, subsidies and so on might get abolished because government has low to no say in how market behaves. Privatization of many state-owned industries are good for the state or the economy because the economy gets to earn taxes and their expenditure will reduce because they wouldn't be the ones running the business in the organization any further. Number 3, deregulation of markets so that everybody can operate freely on the basis of demand and supply with minimum restrictions. Opening up of economies for international trade. Free market economy moves towards international trade and takes advantage of globalization, whereas planned economy is very slow in taking any steps leading to growth. Reduction of bureaucracy is one of the factors that can improve efficiency significantly because bureaucrats are guided by normally their self-interest or lack of education. It may entail a strong legal system which provides property rights and justice to everyone. Rationalization process in the economy where structural changes take place and certain industries which are inefficient they close down while new industries better suited to consumer needs open up. Now these were the features of transition, means this is what happens in a transition. If you get a question what can happen when an economy is shifting from mixed economy, planned economy to free economy. These are the features that you can write. Problem with the transactions. Structural changes where resources are allocated to reflect consumer choice rather than centralized decision may imply unemployment and dissatisfaction in the economy. Retraining of labor and employment of factors of production to new uses is a significant challenge and can take many years of industrial unrest. Number 2, inflation is likely to occur as the forces of demand and supply are allowed to operate freely. Happens when government removes price controls and the short run supply bottlenecks result in consumer demand to be unmet. Next is, in the absence of inadequate welfare systems, redistribution of income may lead to inequality between income groups and falling standards of living. This is it for this video.